What's up, Tan and J-Man Show Nation? This is Tanner Lee, one half of the Tan and J-Man Show. And on behalf of myself and my co-host, Josh the J-Man Munt, we want to thank you for listening to our podcast. While you're at it, on whatever platform you're listening on, please hit that subscribe button. And if it happens to be on Apple Podcasts, please give us a rating and review. That really helps us out. If you're interested in watching our show is recorded live every Monday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch that on the ISC Sports Network, on the free ISC Sports Network app, on the ISC Sports Network Facebook page, and their Twitter page. While you're at it, on the social media channels, please give us a like on our Facebook page. Please give us a follow on our Twitter and Instagram page at Tan and J-Man Show. And if you want to support our podcast and look great doing so, we have a merchandise store. You can go to any of our social media pages, click the link, click Tan and J-Man Show store, and you'll find whatever you're looking for. Short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, coffee mugs, you name it, we got it. So thanks again for supporting the podcast. Now sit back, relax, and here comes another exciting brand new episode of the Tan and J-Man Show. It is Monday night, and you know what that means. Another brand new episode of the Tan and J-Man Show, episode 256 to be exact, for those keeping count, which is nobody besides myself and the J-Man. Josh, who's to my right? How you doing tonight, J-Man?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Wild MLB playoffs so far. Wildest weekend of college football we've experienced this year so far.
By far. Maybe in 2 years.
Pretty good slate of NFL games so far going into Monday night. So a lot of exciting things going down, which we will be covering.
Stuff. Yes, sir. Lots of good stuff. You want to get some Birdie Bogey real quick?
Yes. Let me listen to the question that I will probably miss.
I think you have a good shot.
That is a death sentence. That's the words of death. That needs to be on the T-shirt.
Pretty straightforward.
I think you got a good shot.
Pretty straightforward question this week. Who, since 2016, has the most 40-yard touchdowns in the NFL?
So it could be rushing or receiving.
Could be rushing or receiving. The most 40-yard touchdowns in the NFL since 2016.
Okay.
Birdie Bogey is brought to you by Noble Gnome LLC for fresh, locally grown, nutrient-dense produce from Bryce and Katie Romine of Mentone, Indiana. You can like them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, and check out their website, noblegnomellc.com. You can contact them to get your veggies.
Yes, I don't think they have a ton going on right now.
No.
With it being October 11th. But
time for the harvest.
But follow them on social media because,
spring will be here before we know it.
Well, hopefully we
can skip winter this year.
Push a fast forward button on it.
I think it's going to be an average winter.
You do,
which is that's what I've been told by meteorologists around the world. I took an intro
by meteorologists around the world.
Yep. I'm a amateur meteorologist myself. Took an intro to meteorology course in college, so I can pretty much tell the weather.
Can you share with the Tan and J-Man Show Nation your grade in that class?
Well, I can look outside right now and see that it is storming, so I got an A+.
You're a bright individual, J-Man.
On the job training right now.
On job training right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you said, baseball playoffs have been very good so far. We had two really good wild card games where the Red Sox beat the Yankees. Dodgers beat the Cardinals on a walk-off homer. I think you picked the Cardinals, didn't you?
I did.
We both picked the Yankees, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't want. Let's not talk about that game. Actually, we need to talk about that game.
Former Chicago Cubs are tearing up. Kyle Schwarber has 2 homers. Anthony Rizzo hit a homer in the wild card game. Chris Bryant in game 1 in his series went 3 for 3 with a homer.
I did not see that.
Jock Peterson is 3 for 3 with 2 homers. They don't call it Jocktober for nothing.
Pinch hit homer today.
Yeah, he has 2 pinch hit homers. He tore up in the postseason last year, and he's carried it over. So, good for those former Cubs. If they would have played a little better with the Cubs, maybe the Cubs would still be in it right now. But you know what? They're not the ones going out there with an over 5 ERA, so can't complain about that too much. But elsewhere around baseball, the Braves are up 2-1. Red Sox won a extremely controversial, I should say, game last night. I think they're in the 12th inning where The Rays had a 3-2 count with 2 outs and a runner on first, so the runner's obviously moving. Kevin Kiermaier, Fort Wayne native, hit a ball off the wall.
Big Purdue fan?
Huge Purdue fan, unfortunately. Went to Parkland College, which is like 5 minutes from University of Illinois campus. Hit a ball off the wall. It bounces off the wall, ricochets off of Red Sox right fielder Hunter Renfroe over the fence. So it's an automatic double. However, that run would have easily scored for Tampa Bay. He was already right around third when the ball hit Renfroe. He would have scored easily. And in the rule book, because it was inadvertent, it's an automatic double, and the guy it's an automatic 2 base, I should say. Batter gets 2 bases. The base runner on first gets 2 bases, so he has to go back to third. The Rays didn't argue as much as I thought they would, but it's because it's in the rule book and they know the rule, and it's just an unfortunate thing to happen. I wish in those scenarios that Major League Baseball would let umpires use common sense, because that guy would have scored easily, and the Rays essentially got punished because Hunter Renfroe was a little too close to the wall, and it bounced off him and over the fence. So it was a really rough one for Tampa Bay. Now, the Red Sox end up hitting a 2-run homer to win it in the 12th. But who knows, that one run, the game could have played out completely differently than if it were still a tie game. But Tampa Bay's up 2-1. The White Sox have been trounced the first 2 games in Houston, and then they found a way to win one last night. And former Cub reliever Ryan Tepera accused the Astros of stealing signs once again. He said, you look at their swings in Houston, and then you look at their swings here, and they're completely different. Some of the stuff they're swinging and missing at, they didn't swing and miss at in Houston. The same thing could be said about the White Sox, though, because the White Sox swung and missed a ton in Houston, and they scored 12 runs last night. So I know it's easy to kind of point the finger at the Astros because of the serious cheating, not even allegations. The allegations were founded, like they actually cheated. But it was kind of a dumb thing to say with Ryan Tepera, because that's just going to fire up the Astros, and they're just going to go out there and
like they needed any more fuel for the fire.
Exactly. It is kind of funny to see Tony La Russa and Dusty Baker go at it.
Old dudes.
2 super old dudes. La Russa's in his 70s. Dusty Baker's got to be close to 70s.
He's in his 70s.
Is he in his 70s?
I believe he's 72.
That wouldn't surprise me.
LaRusso's like 76 or 77.
Dusty Baker's 72. I would say La Russa's close to...
he's 77.
Close to 80. 77 years old. You're on it there tonight, T-Dog.
Man.
But back in 2003, I remember Tony La Russa when he was with the Cardinals and Dusty Baker when he was with the Cubs. They got into a heated argument where La Russa both of them came onto the field and got in each other's faces. Baker was a little miffed last night at Tepera's statements, and I think La Russa was a little miffed at Tepera's statements as well. But it is what it is, and it's going to create an interesting game tomorrow. Game 4, because game 4 was postponed due to rain today, but that'll be a good one tomorrow. I think it's a day game. But Tampa Bay and Boston play tonight. Boston has a chance to close it out in Fenway, and the Giants and Dodgers play at 9:37 Eastern time tonight. You going to stay up for that one?
Nope, won't be staying up for that one.
Who you got in the Tampa Bay-Boston game tonight?
Fortunately, I think Boston gets it done. It feels like they're getting all the breaks right now, and I know a lot of people are like, shut up, Yankees fan, you guys get all the breaks. Well, I know a lot of people who follow baseball closely realize this, but people who are just a casual fan, they might not realize this. Since 2000, the Yankees, if you conclude 2000, the Yankees won in 2000 over the Mets. The following year in 2001, they make the World Series, lose to the Diamondbacks, would have been 4 in a row. 2 years later, they make it in 2003 against the Marlins, lose. 6 years later, they make it in 2009, beat the Phillies. Haven't made it since.
Yeah. It has been.
What have you done for me lately? Nothing.
It has been a Red Sox league since 2004. Yep. I mean, they've won 4 championships in the past 17 years now. Right. I mean, that's once almost every 4 years. Right.
And Tampa Bay's been to a couple World Series.
We've been to 2, yeah.
And the Yankees been to 1 in that time span. And they won it, but they've only been to 1. So it's just the hatred for the Yankees is they were dominant for so long, and they still spend a ton of money. But the ton of money they're spending is not getting them anywhere. It's getting to the postseason, but nowhere else.
Right. They're still the evil empire.
They are.
Regardless of how often they've won the past 11 years or so. And really, the Dodgers should be the new evil empire.
100%.
But, I mean, it is what it is. People
Yeah.
hate the Yankees. People hate New York in general, regardless of sports team.
Right.
'Cause it's the biggest city
But
in the U.S.
it'll be interesting to see if my bold prediction of Aaron Boone, this being his last year as a Yankee manager, comes true. His contract's up. If he does come back, he will be the first Yankee manager since 1922 to come back for their 5th season without winning a title during their first 4 seasons.
Wow. It's interesting.
Yeah, so that's not on his side. It'll be interesting to see what players they bring back, who they don't. I think Gary Sanchez's days as a Yankee is probably done.
Probably should be.
Gleyber Torres, I don't know. Would love Rizzo back. Think it'll be too much money.
I think he'll want way too much money, and he won't get it.
You're right. I think it's just opinionated to what I've been reading for some Yankee sites. They think he'll want about $100 million.
That's insane.
Right.
If he gets half of that, he should thank his lucky stars.
Yeah.
And in reality, he should have taken the Cubs offer back in March.
Like 75?
5 years, $70 million.
70.
I don't think he'll get close to 5 years, and I don't think he'll get close to $70 million. He hasn't been good the past 2 years.
Could be interesting.
It will be interesting. I think the Steinbrenner's still owner, right?
Yeah, one of the brothers. The other brother passed away.
He really needs to think about making a move from Brian Cashman.
Yes.
It's getting time. It's getting to that point.
He's the guy that all Yankee fans are mad at. It's not necessarily Boone. It's Cashman because he wants a manager that can be his puppet. Girardi wasn't going to be his puppet. So
Right. And I can't see Boone being a puppet either. He fights for his guys, and he's not just a yes man.
Right.
It'll be a really interesting offseason. Haven't heard any sort of trade rumors with Aaron Judge.
No.
It will be the last year of his deal.
Right.
Could be kind of a Chris Bryant scenario there, where which I think they'll be better than the Cubs were this year, but if they get off to a slow start and they're not really in it come July, I think they really got to think about maybe trading him. Wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if they sign him to a long-term extension this year, but it's an interesting thing to play out.
Well, and is Garrett Cole really their ace?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I mean,
he was
just
bad,
had a bad night
against Boston. But
they're relieving their relievers. They got a lot of problems in the bullpen. So I don't know. They're in a weird spot. It's going to be an interesting offseason in the Bronx.
It's going to be a weird offseason everywhere with the collective bargaining agreement
true.
ending in December. I think really for the past couple years, the offseason's been so slow up until January. I think it's going to be the same here. And I know 2 years ago we were thinking, man, there's definitely going to be at least a work stoppage and maybe even a strike. But after how much money Major League Baseball lost and how much money the players lost during the COVID year, I don't think that's really a reality this year, or going to be realistic, I should say, for this year. I think they'll get a deal done. Might not happen quickly, but I think they'll get a deal done sometime in the next few months. So it's going to be interesting because you don't know. I mean, I think they'll really add the designated hitter to the National League. I think that's going to be
I hope so.
something that happens. It's just going to be slow to start is my opinion. But picking the Tampa Bay Rays and Boston Red Sox, I'm going to pick the Rays.
I hope you're right.
They have Colin McHugh going tonight, who had a 1.55 ERA this year.
Call in. Never heard of him right now.
Eduardo Rodriguez is pitching for the Red Sox, who has a 5.95 ERA in Fenway this year and a 4.74 ERA overall. I think Tampa Bay's pitching will take over and we'll get a Game 5. I hope so, because winner-take-all games in baseball are pretty special.
Dickie V will be in the house, baby.
Ugh.
He will. He's a big I think he's a racing ticket holder. Nick Vitale.
I cannot stand that guy.
I'm surprised he's coming back. Kind of to do another year broadcasting. I thought his days would be numbered.
We all wished he was done.
Yeah.
Who you got winning the Astros White Sox series?
In my bold predictions, I picked the White Sox to make the ALCS. I got to still roll with it.
You think they win 3 straight to
Do I really? No. But for the show's sake, I have to stick with my predictions. I made them at the beginning of the year. I got to stick with them.
Yeah, I think the Astros get it done in Chicago tomorrow.
You hope so. Just even though you don't like the Astros either.
I don't like the Astros, but I prefer the White Sox get out of there.
Yeah, it could be Astros, Red Sox. That's disgusting.
I'd go for the Red Sox.
I wouldn't, but still it's disgusting. And then if the Dodgers,
I just don't want it to be Dodgers Brewers. I think Atlanta closes out Milwaukee tomorrow.
I do too. I picked Milwaukee last week, but Atlanta's got to roll.
I don't see San Francisco winning another game, unfortunately.
Nope.
Which honestly, that's okay because I love Chris Bryant to death, but I don't want to see him happy this year. But yeah,
Josh got his big checklist of former Cubs. He's checking them off when they're eliminated.
Just checking them all off. I mean, I love Schwarber, and I'm okay with him staying in it. But for some reason, I don't know. I don't want.
You checked off Javi a long time ago because the Mets are the Mets.
Checked off Javi back in the middle of September. I think that's gonna do it pretty much for
baseball.
The Padres fired their manager, Ron Washington. You remember him? He's, rumored to maybe come take the job.
I heard a rumor of Bruce Bochy too.
Bruce Bochy, yeah, that's where he kind of got his start. Took him to a World Series. Yeah. He's
Is there any other jobs open? Or
Mets is open.
Well, yeah.
I think Cubs have been talking extension with David Ross.
You like that?
Yeah. I mean, he was dealt a pretty terrible hand this year.
Like, could any other jobs be open? I mean, the Yankees could be open, of course.
Yankees could open.
Is there anybody in the playoffs you could see if they get knocked out soon opening up?
No. Not realistically, I would say.
Okay.
They should give Craig Counsell a lifetime contract in Milwaukee. They were terrible before he got there.
He's a pretty good manager.
No, I can't imagine this. Maybe Dave Roberts, but I mean, he kind of saved himself last year by winning. If they wouldn't have won last year, he'd definitely probably be on the hot seat.
I don't see him going anywhere.
Yeah. You want to get educated?
Yeah.
Knock this out real quick. Ty Cobb in the American League and Frank Schulte in the National League are named inaugural MLB MVPs. The prize is a car.
I would be interested.
What kind of car they had in 1911?
Our car,
pulled by a horse.
Our gearheads out there could tell us on TNJ Man Show Nation, but neither Josh or I are one of those. But Ty Cobb's one. I'd be interested to go back, and I'm not going to do this because it takes too much time to list all the TNJ Man shows since we've done on this day and see which athletes have been mentioned the most. Ty Cobb's got to be up in top 5.
Got to be up there. Ted Williams, bunch.
Babe Ruth. He's probably number 1.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about Willie Mays and Hank Aaron a bunch as well.
Yeah, a lot of baseball guys.
They've been around longer.
That's true.
Speaking of Babe Ruth, a pair of Babe Ruth home runs in the 4th and 5th innings is the difference as the Yankees beat the New York Giants 4-2 at the Polo Grounds to tie the World Series on this day in 1923. On this day in 1925, the New York Giants played their first NFL game. They lost to Providence 14-0.
The Friars.
I assume Providence College. I don't know. 1927, New York Yankees first baseman Lou Gehrig is named American League MVP despite hitting MLB record 60 home runs. Babe Ruth, as a former winner, is not eligible.
Couldn't win back-to-back awards back then. Maybe shared a wealth a little bit.
That makes sense.
It's kind of like in the Big Ten years ago. You couldn't win back-to-back, or I think you could win back-to-back conference titles, but you couldn't go back-to-back Rose Bowls.
Because remember
Purdue
that
should have been the back-to-back Rose Bowls, and they didn't. Indiana went in '68.
That is mind-numbingly stupid.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's dumb. Sharing is caring, I guess. On this day in 1972, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-2 in the NLCS.
Been crap since. Not really. I mean, they
won
early
a few
90s.
after that.
Really, since we've been born, they haven't been good.
No. You hate to see it. 1980, the Dallas Mavericks started their NBA season for the first time ever.
Now Jason Kidd's their head coach, and his collar can get any bigger on a shirt. If you don't know what I'm talking about, type in Jason Kidd on Google or Twitter. His coaching photo, his collar is humongous.
On this day in 1992, Deion Sanders played for the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta Braves.
Would you like to see any current athlete try to pull off the double dip?
There's not as many two-sport athletes. I would love to see LeBron play in the NFL.
Yeah, well, now at his age, doubt he could get around like he used to be able to, but he's still a big boy.
I could see Mike Trout being a really good football player, linebacker, running back type. I'm trying to think of any other. I mean, we had a few guys. I mean, Bo Jackson, obviously.
If Tyreek Hill could hit a baseball, he'd be fun to watch.
It'd be Billy Hamilton.
Yeah.
Brian Jordan was another one that did both. Haven't seen it that much since.
No.
Let's say in 1995, O.J. Simpson canceled a TV appearance with Dateline.
That's a shocker.
Wonder why he canceled. On this day in 2020, the LA Lakers beat the Miami Heat 106-93.
Yep, late finals. And
Also,
wasn't LeBron like the first player in NBA history to win Finals MVP on 3 different teams?
This first to win Finals MVP award with 3 different teams. I forgot you already looked at these today.
I was trying. You weren't supposed to bring that up. I was trying to play it off.
I was like, man, you know a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to hope you didn't remember it. I looked up.
On this day in 2016, the Chicago Cubs came back from 3 runs down in the 9th inning to beat the San Francisco Giants and move on to the National League Championship.
That was not on there.
It was not on there.
That's out of the J-Man's brain.
Out of me seeing it on all over Twitter. 5 freaking years ago already.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I had long flowing hair back then. Down to my shoulders.
Don't know if it was flowing, but
just flip
it was
up.
Longer than it is right now.
Yeah. Now I got nothing.
Time comes at you fast.
You see what 5 years of not winning the World Series does to a man's scalp. Thanks.
Well.
Thanks, Tom Ricketts.
Yeah. We'll see if we're seeing that 5 years from now.
5 years from now, I'm gonna be like completely hairless. No beard.
That'll be a sight to see for all the Tina and J-Man Show Nation when we're streaming 5 years from now. But the On This Day segment is brought to you by, like it is every week, Proforma Print House. If you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or sales meeting, Proforma Print House has over 50 years combined experience in promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs. You need to look no further. Let them be your one-source print and promotional company today by giving them a call at 574-210-3815. I use Proforma Print House a lot in my everyday job for a lot of promotional products. Can't speak enough of their customer service. So, I mean, there was an incident not too long ago. I was trying to order some notepads for our insurance services, and the distributor that was going to give them to Proforma Print House, my rep thought it was way too expensive, so did some negotiating with a different company, got the price down, got the notepads.
You're a master negotiator.
I wouldn't go that far. They just have really good customer service and treat their customers right. So
you're a shark.
I'm a shark. I'm like Mark Cuban. So if you're looking for a great company that will do you right, customer service-wise, and for promotional products, give them a call today. You will not be disappointed.
College football was pretty dang good, as Tanner prefaced earlier.
Yeah, we usually talk about the Big Ten, and we will talk about the Big Ten, but the Big Ten was pretty, besides one game, there was 2 good games, I guess. Pretty uneventful because there was only 5 games, but man, cannot say the same for the rest of the country.
2 fantastic games started at noon, too.
Yes.
Texas, Oklahoma, routinely putting up 90 combined points.
I love that rivalry.
It's so fun to watch. Fantastic. Every year, the games are insane.
3 out of the last 4 years, they've just put up points. There's an argument. Is it the Red River Showdown? Is it Red River Shootout? I'm calling it the shootout because they score points.
Yeah. The Big 12.
Where defense isn't,
it's optional.
The halftime score was 35-17.
Yeah.
Texas.
Oklahoma got down 18 and they benched their Heisman candidate quarterback.
Well, Spencer Rattler, he has coming in that game, his longest touchdown pass of the year in the air was 14 yards. And he was averaging 4 yards per completion or something, just wasn't airing it out at all. The running game wasn't going, but they're winning games. So Lincoln Riley's like, I don't care. We're going to win games. But he was struggling early on against Texas. Texas scored on the first play of the game. True freshman wide receiver, I can't remember his name, stiff arms the dude, runs all the way. Then that poor guy who got stiff-armed, he stiff-armed again later in the quarter, and then the guy got blocked on his butt. That guy fell because I was listening to the game on ESPN radio at the time in the first quarter. They were so embarrassed for the Oklahoma cornerback, they didn't even want to say his number or his name because he got embarrassed 3 times in the first quarter. But Oklahoma's struggling, so they put in Williams. Is it Casey Williams? I believe it's his first name. Casey. I think it's Casey Williams. It starts with a C. I think it's Casey Williams. In the first play, he's in his 4th and 1. He runs it for 70 yards for a touchdown. First play. And then the offense clicked with him. They take the lead late. Texas scores late to tie it up. And then Oklahoma is trying just to run the clock out pretty much to give their kicker an easier field goal for a game-winning attempt. It's 9 seconds left. They run a wildcat play. Guy gets second level, blows past them, touchdown. Oklahoma wins the game.
Yeah, I honestly didn't watch a whole lot of that one. I was following it on my phone a little bit, and then I ended up seeing the end of it. But every single year since really 2017, it's been that kind of shootout.
And this was interesting for Sarkisian. Is his first year as Texas head coach, his first rivalry against Oklahoma. Say what you want about Herman, because he wasn't very good at Texas, but his team showed up for this game every year. And I'm thinking at halftime, geez, Texas blowing them out of the water. Maybe they are back. Sarkisian's on this right track, and I still think he's doing a good job. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great play caller. They are on the right track, but it's got to sting today, all weekend long and today for Longhorn Nation to let that one slip.
Let it slip away. It's their biggest rival, and
it's 2 losses for you already.
I'm sure quite a few Longhorn fans lost some sleep on Saturday night.
And Boomer Sooner crowds letting them know about it. But man, that was an exciting game. So much talent on the field, both ways on both sides, and I think. I know Spencer Rattler's acting on Twitter like he's a team guy, but there was a picture after the whole team celebrating. He's kind of walking off in the distance by himself. Yeah. He's probably thinking of his next move right now.
Come to Illinois.
come to Purdue. We'll take you. I mean, he could probably have a list of suitors. It's
pretty sad that that's right where our mind goes.
I know that's what college sports
with
anymore,
the
Josh.
transfer portal and everything. Guys don't wait it out.
And maybe Williams' name isn't Casey, because now I'm thinking Casey Thompson, the quarterback for Texas. He is the kind of outlier anymore with the transfer world, because he sat behind Sam Elliott really for 3 years and waited for his chance this year. Didn't start the first few games. Then Sarkisian made the switch. Thompson comes in, and he's really transformed that Texas offense. Interesting story about him. He grew up a diehard Oklahoma fan. His dad was a quarterback at Oklahoma. His brother played at Oklahoma. So he grew up an Oklahoma fan, and then he's on the opposite side of the rivalry, having one of the best games a quarterback's ever had in a Red River shootout, and then ends up losing at the end.
It's rough.
But look up that Williams kid's name on Oklahoma, because I keep botching it. I know it's not Casey.
Caleb.
Start with C.
Knew it started with C, though.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler was 8 for 15 with no touchdowns and a pick.
Yep.
Yeah, Caleb Williams,
pick 6.
16 for 25, 212, 2 touchdowns, no picks, had 88 yards rushing, including that 66-yarder where Rattler got sacked a few times. I think they have to keep Caleb Williams in there, because honestly, Oklahoma's been scooting by almost every time they've played this year. Every week it seems like they've just barely gotten by, but they've gotten by so far.
And now they got themselves in prime position, because and I know you're talking about noon games right now, but one of the games later at night, 18-point underdog Texas A&M, who's lost to Arkansas and Mississippi State back-to-back weeks, knocks off Alabama.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
They beat them pretty handily too, didn't they? What was the final score?
Game-winning field goal.
Never mind.
Yeah,
they were
51-48.
They were up 14 at halftime.
Yeah. Bama came back, and
Jimbo need that.
Yeah, that's why they paid him the big bucks. A&M's got a backup quarterback. I don't remember his name. Haynes King's the one who got hurt. Backup quarterback's been Haynes King got hurt a few games ago against Colorado. Backup quarterback looked like he belonged the other night.
Yeah. A&M was fantastic last year and arguably should have gotten in to the playoff over Notre Dame. But, Jimbo needed that one.
Well, Alabama showed against Florida a few weeks ago they're human and that they bleed like everybody else. But I didn't think they'd get picked off like this quick, and they're not out of the conversation for everything yet. But if you get to the SEC title game, you face an undefeated Georgia. Georgia beat you. You're not in with 2 losses.
I think it's pretty safe to say Georgia's the best team in the country.
I 100% agree. Their defense is something else.
They blew out Arkansas last weekend. Arkansas follows it up with an absolute classic game against Ole Miss where they got down a few, and then they came back and scored a touchdown on 4th and goal as time expired. And then Sam Pittman automatically put the 2 fingers up, which I absolutely love.
I was going to say, you like that?
Absolutely love a coach doing that. Yeah, the execution of the play wasn't great, but he put two fingers up. Arkansas didn't convert the two-point conversion. Love going for the win there. Love going for the win, especially on the road. You fought that hard, and it sucks. It ended up not.
So you're probably not going to survive overtime usually on the road like that.
Usually not. I mean, you can, but I just love going for the two-point conversion win. Arkansas lined up for the two-point conversion. Lane Kiffin was on the sideline going like this. That was an unbelievable game.
Yeah, Pittman's done a good job this year. Don't get me wrong.
Fantastic.
But you look at his years, he's 7-9 so far at Arkansas. Yeah. It's kind of interesting because that was a great game, and they're so close for winning. But now 2 weeks in a row he's lost. It's like now that shine's starting to wear off a little bit. That's just how college football works. It's
two good teams, though.
It's week to week. Yes, you're right. Matt Corral, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, quarterback from Ole Miss, he might be the Heisman frontrunner right now.
Right.
Which nobody's talking about who's winning the Heisman because nobody knows right now. It's like it hadn't even started.
We have two quarterbacks that have disappointed, and that's obviously Spencer Rattler, but also Sam Howell.
North Carolina's the most disappointing team in the country.
Easily. Even Brock Purdy at Iowa State. Iowa State's been super disappointing as well.
Yep.
Florida
State owns Mac Brown. It might 4-11 against the Seminoles.
It might be that was Mac Brown's alma mater, which I didn't know. It might be Alabama's quarterback, whose name I can Bryce Young.
No.
As a freshman, he's a freshman, right?
I think he's a redshirt freshman, maybe.
Is he? Yeah, but he might be. And
maybe
then,
he's true freshman.
And then they go and lose to Texas.
It's
kind of wide open.
It is wide open. You got a kid from Fresno State putting up tons of numbers, but he's not going to win it. Let's be honest. But yeah, it is wide open. I mean, C.J. Stroud, he's starting to get hot for Ohio State.
I think Ohio State might be the best team in the Big Ten again.
We'll wait for my power rankings. But
I was kind of leading you into that.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to talk about Notre Dame real quick.
Oh, yes.
How lucky did they get the other night?
Every single win they have like that.
Down 8.
Yeah.
Late score, get the
3
2.
minutes left.
And get the game-winning field goal.
They are the most unbelievably lucky.
It's in the name. It's
college
the Irish
sports program.
It keeps them around. I know they got one loss, but it keeps them kind of around for that possible playoff.
I almost hope they get in just to get beat by 70 this year, because this might be the worst Notre Dame team we've seen in 5 years.
They got a bye week this week. They play USC at home next week.
USC's terrible. They should run the table looking at their schedule.
I know, because Sam Howell's not going to do it.
I don't think you can justify putting them in with one loss without playing a conference championship game.
How awful would it be if a one-loss Notre Dame team jumped an undefeated Cincinnati team that beat them? I don't think there's any way, but
I would sue. I would hire a lawyer and sue.
I mean, oh man, Cincinnati's so dominant. I mean, they killed Temple, but they should run the table. They're going to have to run the table, but they should. Is that going to be enough, Josh?
It better be.
Is that going to be enough?
They have to put them in over the likes of Notre Dame.
That's why I wish there was 8-team playoff right now instead of a 4. But man,
I think you can justify putting them in over Iowa.
Not if Iowa runs the table and wins the Big Ten title game.
There is no way Iowa gets within 3 touchdowns of Ohio State or Michigan, for that matter. They might be able to do it against Michigan.
He's coming back on his word.
They would have lost to Penn State had Sean Clifford not gotten hurt.
I do agree with you there. I do agree with you.
They're not going to continue to force 5 turnovers a game. Their quarterback play is horrendous. Petrus is not good. They run the ball.
Good running back.
They run the ball okay. He's averaging.
I was usually not going to
yards carry.
I was not going to beat themselves. Usually, you got to go
play
get them.
Solid, sound football.
Yeah. Their secondary is amazing.
They just don't. They keep forcing turnovers, and that's just, it's not likely to continue to happen. But, we're 6 games in, they continue to do it, so maybe it is.
Number 2 team in the nation.
Yep.
Your uncle's got to be excited.
My uncle hates their quarterback so much that I don't even think he's enjoying it.
Oh, man. I have a list of Purdue quarterbacks I haven't liked in my years, but if they had them number 2 ranked in the nation undefeated, that'd be all right by me.
Sure.
Yeah. But power rankings, ready for
Let's hear them.
Big Ten power rankings. Like I said, it was interesting rankings this week because a lot of teams were off. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't a lot of movement.
We only have 5 games again this week.
I know. I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I did have a new team in the cellar. Illinois was out for 1 week.
They're back
in because they didn't score any points.
Their quarterbacks went a combined, I think it was 11 for 34.
And Wisconsin's got a good defense. The yards per game, they're leading the Big Ten in yards per game. I think Iowa's number 2 and Purdue's number 3, I believe, in defense. They're all under 300 yards per game. Sorry, Illinois, you got to go back. So Northwestern, without playing, moves up to 13.
Man, Northwestern sucks.
They were 14. Number 12, same as number 12 last week. They didn't play, so didn't really do any movement. That's Indiana. Mm-hmm. They have Michigan State at home this week. I don't think Michael Penix is going to be ready, so that means Tuttle time for the Hoosiers.
Maybe they get a spark from him.
They got to get going if they want to make a bowl.
Have to, yeah.
And that's games for the old spittoon, the brass spittoon. Those two play for. Number 11, I got my Purdue Boilermakers falling a spot. Not playing, but falling a spot. That's just kind of how the rankings fell this week.
I think they're better than Rutgers.
Number 10, I don't like this ranking. I should have had this team better. I got Wisconsin moving up from 11 to 10. I mean, they beat Illinois, but it's my bottom seller team there. So.
And Graham Mertz was still terrible against Illinois. Their quarterback plays horrendous.
Right. It's got to bite them soon. It's already been them three times.
Three times, yeah.
Number 9, I got Maryland falling from 6 to 9.
Yeah, it's
Ohio State who's playing well, but man,
Iowa and Ohio State
back-to-back weeks, you just get shellacked.
You can't do that at home.
Number 8, I got staying at number 8 to Rutgers. That's where I had them last week. Rutgers and Maryland were tough for me. Rutgers got smacked by Michigan State. They were in it for a quarter. And
Rutgers is 0-3 in the Big Ten. Of course, they've had Ohio State. And they've had
the East. It's living in the East. They still got Penn State.
Who else did they lose to?
Michigan by a touchdown.
Yeah, the 3 best teams probably. Even Penn State's in there. But
number 7 moved up from number 9 without playing is Minnesota. But I don't really think they're number 7, especially with Potts, their starting running back, out for the year, possibly his career announced today. So that's not going to help.
On their third stringer.
That's not going to help Fleck and company. Number 6, moving up from number 7, even in a losing effort. This team's 3-4, but the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
They're hanging in there, man. They
probably should have won that game.
They should have won in Michigan State. They should have beaten Michigan. I think they're a lot better than people are giving them credit for, unfortunately.
Could have beat Oklahoma. Could have,
yeah.
So I think Frost is starting to find something, at least to make the fan base
Frosty
not too mad. So I think he's going to be around for a little bit, J-Man.
Maybe one more year.
Number 5, falling from number 2, is Penn State.
Yeah, I think you kind of docked them a little bit for losing their quarterback.
I did, and that's not
on
fair.
The road at Kinnick.
It's not fair, but how about these other 4 teams I'm about to go over? Would you put them ahead of any of these 4 teams? I got Michigan, number 4, falling from number 3.
Probably not.
I got Ohio State at number 3, up from number 5 last week. The only reason I have them at 3 is one loss, even though it's to a good Oregon team, and Oregon lost to Stanford. Number 2, up from number 4, is Michigan State.
I'd probably put them over Michigan State. I think they're better than Michigan State.
Michigan, who? Penn State? Michigan State they score points. They score points.
Old
this
Mel
is
Tucker's
not the Michigan State team of old. It's defense. They got a good quarterback, good running back, probably the best in the conference, and a good wide receiver.
Their running back through 6 games has 912 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns.
Kenneth Walker III.
He might be a Heisman candidate.
Thorne, the quarterback's good.
He has 14 touchdowns.
And the receiver's a deep threat.
His name Jaden Reed?
Nope.
Well, he's their leading receiver.
But there's a deep threat there that's been ripping it up. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. And number 1's been number 1 for the past couple weeks, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Until they lose.
Number 2 in the country.
I think they should easily be the West favorite.
Oh, hands down.
At this point.
Which I picked them. No, I didn't. I was going to say I picked Wisconsin with national title. So that was like a redo on that one.
I like a redo.
I went bold, and that blew up week 1.
Let's pick some Big Ten games here.
Do it.
Starting with Michigan State at Indiana. Michigan State is 4.5-point fave.
Yeah, I keep for weeks. When's Michigan State going to wake up? When's Michigan State going to wake up? Now they're in the top 10. They're already bowl eligible. I had them winning 3 games this year. Like I said, they're scoring points. Indiana's on a backup quarterback. If the crowd shows up, it could be a raucous atmosphere. It's noon on Fox Sports 1. But I'm going with Michigan State for 3 confident points.
This will be the J-Man's Book and Prediction of the Week. I think Michigan State wakes up and loses.
Whoa.
In Bloomington.
Wow.
Give me IU for 1 confidence point.
You've been on that Tom Allen bandwagon.
I mean, they were good last year. Right. Maybe it was just a blip on the radar.
Pretty decent the year before.
Yeah. But for some reason, at home, I feel like Michigan State's going to overlook them a little bit.
And it might be a now or never time for Indiana.
Yeah, so they need to put up or shut up.
Does he still play Michigan and Ohio State?
All right, they have to win this one almost.
Yep.
The J-Man's Book It Prediction of the Week is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent Travis Watchering for life, home, auto, renters, business, workers' comp, and farm insurance. Contact Travis at 219-869-4561. His email is travis.watchering@infb.com. Nebraska at Minnesota.
Interesting game here. Like I said, Nebraska's now going to be on their third string running back. Nebraska's playing better football. These two coaches are the most insufferable coaches in the conference, in my opinion. Somebody's got to win. I'm going with Scott Frost and the Cornhuskers for 2 confident points.
Nebraska is 3.5-point favorites, and I'm taking the Cornhuskers as well for 3. Rutgers at Northwestern.
Yeah, Northwestern's coming off a bye. Rutgers hasn't been playing the greatest football.
When's the last
lately.
time Rutgers has been favored in a road Big Ten game?
Have they since they got in the Big Ten?
I don't know, but they're 2-point favorites.
Well, I'm going with the underdogs. Give me the Wildcats for a point.
I have Rutgers for 2. Northwestern's terrible.
They are not good, but
Rutgers needs this if they want any shot.
If Northwestern can, if there's a time to pull off an upset at home, it's coming off a bye week.
And it's really not. It's like a coin flip essentially. Yeah. But your Boilermakers travel to Iowa.
Yeah, coming off a bye week, got some guys getting some guys back healthy. Payne Durham starting tight end will be back. Corey Trice starting cornerback will be back for the first time since the UConn game. Xander Horvath not ready yet. They're hoping this month sometime, which is pretty quick for a broken leg. But they did lose another receiver. But they got a lot of depth at receiver. David Bell is healthy. Which he was healthy against Minnesota. He's an Iowa killer. Braum does have Iowa's number. He's 3-1 against Iowa. But I think Iowa's defense is too tough. 3:30 ABC. I got the Hawkeyes for 4.
Yeah, seems like Purdue has won in Iowa more than any other team the past couple years.
Yeah, Danny Hope got a win in their 2012. Braum in 2017, and then got him at Ross State in 2018 and last year. But and barely lost to him in 2019.
I think this will be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I do too. Defensive battle.
But I think Iowa ultimately prevails.
I do too.
I think they win by – I don't think they cover, though. I think they win by 10. It's 11.5-point spread.
I agree with you, which doesn't happen too often.
But give me Iowa for 5.
Yep, I agree.
It's tough to win in Kinnick.
It is.
Army at Wisconsin. This could be a game that Wisconsin loses.
I don't think Army's very good.
They're 4-1.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Why did I think they weren't that good this year?
They've Jeff Monken. It's either Jeff or Todd Monken.
Who beat them?
Ball State last week beat them, but I mean they've beat Miami of Ohio, UConn, Western Kentucky, and Georgia State.
I thought they were down this year. Maybe it's Navy. Navy's the one that's really down this year, I think. But now I feel kind of dumb. I'm taking the Badgers for 5.
I have Wisconsin for 4, so we're right about there. Going with some ranked matchups here. Oklahoma State travels to number 25, Texas.
Yeah, Texas didn't fall out of the rankings. It's another one. If you don't like defense, you're going to love watching this game.
Love it. The over-under set at 61.
Give me the Longhorns over the Cowboys.
Texas is 5.5-point favorites. I think they cover. Auburn at Arkansas. Arkansas needs this one.
Can Bo Nix get another road win? I say no. Sam Pittman and the boys bounce back.
I agree.
Like you said, they need it.
They absolutely need it. Florida travels to LSU. Florida's 10-point favorites.
Give me Florida. Coach O's done. Done. They're already working the paperwork behind the scenes. He's done.
Man, he won a title. He lost his whole team. But
he's getting Gene Chizik.
Give me, that's a good comparison. Florida. Number 11, Kentucky travels to Georgia.
I've talked a lot of trash about Kentucky. They've proved me wrong. Mark Stoops done a great job down there.
Fantastic job.
But Georgia, best team in the country, in my opinion, by far the best defense. Wildcats get beat up by the Bulldogs.
23.5-point favorites.
Incredible against the 11th ranked team, but give me the Bulldogs.
Number 19, Brigham Young. Traveling to Baylor.
Yeah, Boise State went in there and
knocked them off.
Beat the Cougars. Traveling to Baylor. Baylor puts up some points, but I like BYU to have a bounce back game and get the win.
Give me Baylor. They're 6-point favorites. Baylor is. Unranked Baylor, I should say. Here's an interesting one. 4-1 Ole Miss travels to Knoxville to face Tennessee, who's 4-12.
Knoxville's going to be rocking. They've killed South Carolina and killed Missouri the week before. I think
Heupel's pretty good.
Josh Heupel's. I think they got something there. I'm taking the Vols. Lane Kiffin gets one of his former schools. I'm taking the Vols.
Give me Ole Miss.
All right.
Ole Miss is actually they're favored. Yeah,
he is fun to watch.
He's good.
SEC's got some fun quarterbacks this year to watch.
Last one here, number 22, NC State travels to 4-1 Boston College.
Don't know much about NC State besides Dave Doran being their head coach. Why not? Boston College. I'm in an upset mood tonight.
Give me NC State. I want it to be different.
Of course you did.
You got some word association for
I do have some word association for you, and it's like the theme's been of the word association every week lately. Big Ten themed.
Yeah.
So I might as well just run through it. You did running backs last week. I'm doing wide receivers.
All righty. Hopefully I remember some of
alphabetical order, so starting with your used to be, you were fighting Illini, A.J. Jenkins.
I knew it was going to be A.J. Jenkins.
Did you really? I tried to throw. I thought you.
I had a feeling.
Really, it's been.
He was a bust. He was a first-round pick by Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco. He should have been probably a third-round pick, but old Jimmy took him in the first round. He wasn't very good. He was really good at Illinois. But
bust might be a theme for a lot of these guys. Indiana, Cody Latimer.
A bust.
God, was he ever. Second-round pick.
Not paying attention to Peyton Manning.
That was the downfall. Peyton tried to talk to him on the bus, looks over, he's playing on his cell phone. Now, strike one.
That'll show him.
Iowa, Marvin McNutt.
Oh, man, I remember Marvin McNutt.
Wasn't he good?
He tore up Purdue, a game I was at.
Did, 2011, senior day.
Yeah, he had a good one.
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
I completely forgot about him. He was good.
I was one of those schools, and it's like some of these other schools, they have really good wide receivers in college standards. They don't do much in the pros.
Yeah.
Maryland, Darius Hayward-Bay.
Fast. Bust.
Al Davis special.
Yeah, he
took him over Crabtree.
he saw speed, and
they still do that.
Need to have him.
Henry Ruggs.
Yeah,
it was okay, but I mean, they got him over CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Michigan. This was one I could have went with a lot of different guys. Braylon Edwards.
Oh man, Cleveland Brown.
Yeah,
he had a couple good years there, but
he always showed up for the Michigan State game. It seemed like. Speaking of Michigan State, Charles Rogers.
Oh man, he was supposed to be so good.
Number 2 overall pick
with
by
the Lions. Yeah, he bust.
I told you bust could be a common thing. I could have went Plaxico Burress there. Thought about it, but I thought that'd be too easy.
Handgun.
Minnesota. This was a tough one because I didn't want to do Eric Decker.
I was going to say I did him last week.
Tyler Johnson.
Oh, man, he was a superstar. Him and Bateman. I think Tyler Johnson caught a touchdown yesterday against the Dolphins, one of the 12 Tom Brady threw.
Nebraska. John Westerkamp.
He had that unbelievable catch behind his back. I think that was Jordan Westerkamp, right?
Jordan. I said Justin Jordan. I can't even read my own writing. Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
Northwestern. This was a hard one. Austin Carr.
Oh, man. I remember Austin Carr. Wasn't he Fort Wayne? South Bend? Was he from?
I'm not sure.
For some reason, I was thinking he was from Indiana.
Notre Dame had a...
Wasn't he Austin Carr, too?
Yeah, Austin Carr basketball player back in the day. But this is Northwestern wide receiver.
Why do I think that Austin Carr is from Indiana? Nope, he's from Santa Monica, California.
So close.
He was a saint. I remember him, though. He was unbelievable that one year at Northwestern.
Yes, he was. Ohio State, another one I could have went with tons of different guys, but thought I would go one that hits you.
Brian Hartline?
Yes, Brian Hartline.
He had a few good years. Ryan Tannehill's first year, he had over 1,000 yards. Head coach in waiting. Yep. Maybe not at Ohio State, but he's killing it on the recruiting trail.
This guy from Penn State, I used to take when I began fantasy football back in middle school, took him all the time. Joe Jaravicious.
He went to Penn State.
Yes, he did.
He played for so many teams, it felt like.
Browns is where I remember. And Tampa Bay.
Wasn't he with Seattle, too?
Yeah, probably.
Tanner's fantasy team.
Yep. Purdue Boilermakers, Rondell Moore.
Man, I'm trying to think of a good one. Strong.
Yeah, he is strong for us.
Strong lower body. Good Lord. That broke like 10 tackles against Ohio State.
Making himself a name out in Arizona right now.
He's going to be a good one.
Oh, what could have been if he stayed healthy? Rutgers, Kenny Britt.
Man.
You know he went to Rutgers?
I did know he went to Rutgers.
He was on that team with Ray Rice. They had like 10 pros on that team.
Was Kenny Britt a Giant?
I think he bounced around the league quite a bit.
I don't remember. He was
a Titan.
He was
Titan for a while.
I think that's who I'm thinking of.
Pro bowler for Titan.
Yeah, he was good.
And last and it is least, Wisconsin, Chris Chambers.
Oh, man.
See, I did this just to
my favorite Dolphin from about 2001 to 2005. Caught everything in his vicinity. Too bad his quarterbacks were awful.
You wore that jersey to death.
Yeah, the letters were peeling off.
Literally. And that'll do it for the Word Association segment, which is brought to you every week by Rhett Lee, Attorney at Law. Rhett Lee and the law office of Andrew Akey, LLC, are located at 206 4th Street in Logansport, Indiana. Rhett provides legal services to the people of North Central Indiana and practices criminal defense, family law, and personal injury. If you need a lawyer who cares about your results and will fight for you, give Rhett a call today to schedule a free consultation at 574-722-27 888-222-2221.
We have 12 minutes left, so we got to go through this a little quickly.
We better do our sponsor reads real quick.
Oh, yeah. Dam Landing. Whether you want an epic burger, hand-tossed pizza, hand-bread, tenderloin, seafood, craft beer, or a handcrafted cocktail, we had a few of those on Saturday. The Dam Landing is the place to be. The Dam Landing is a bar and grill located on beautiful Lake Manitou, focused on freshness and quality. You can wash down their delicious food with one of their 16 beers on tap, including a constant rotation of today's best microbrews and domestic flavors, or a handcrafted cocktail made using fresh ingredients. Take in the fantastic views of Lake Manitou and their beer garden or outdoor bar area. Whether it be boats or wheels, the Dam Landing is the place to be, located at 1305 Ewing Road in Rochester.
Take advantage of those warm temperatures while you can.
It's a beautiful weekend.
And speaking of warm temperatures, I got out on the golf course Sunday wearing my Circle 15 glove, which Circle 15 Golf is a brand focused on bringing tour quality products and experience to the everyday golfer like the J-Man and myself. It's built on 25 years of tour experience, featuring the Genesis glove, the most durable and comfortable glove available in the patented Glove Hub, the first and only glove humidor on the market. Find those products and more at circle15golf.com.
3 winners, 3 losers.
One of my winners, got to find my list here, and this pains me to say it, the LA Chargers.
They're pretty good. They're one of mine as well.
Herbert's very good. A good win over the Browns. Their kicker tried to cost them the game, missing a late extra point, but they got the W. Heads up play by Austin Eckler, not scoring too fast.
Well, did you see
the Giants
and then
carried them in the end
Browns
zone,
carried them in?
Or
That
the Browns,
cool.
not the Giants. Yeah, and the Browns couldn't do anything. But they're a winner.
Chargers were one of mine as well. The Chicago Bears.
One of mine as well.
Going on the road to Vegas, and their defense is really good. Offense is still not great. But
3-2, though, for all the complaining everybody's doing about them. 3-2.
That's a huge win going into Vegas.
Huge.
My other winner, Buffalo Bills.
I don't have them down, but I can't disagree with that.
Best team in football. I think Josh Allen's the MVP right now.
I can't disagree with that either. My winner is actually the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're quieting the critics for now, but it won't last very long. Juju Smith-Schuster out for the year today with a shoulder injury. That's not going to help.
No.
They're not going to probably make the playoffs. They're pretty dinged up. They still have some talent, though. They're still scary to play.
Absolutely. 3 losers.
It brings me great pleasure to read this one. The Kansas City Chiefs. 3 losses, J-Man.
Yeah. 2 and 3.
Great offense still. Defense has a lot of holes.
And Patrick Mahomes is turning it over more than he ever has.
Well,
I think
he throws across his body, across the field all the time. He just asks for it to get picked off.
It's catching up to him now. His best year was his first year so far. Yeah. I think they're the best team in the West right now.
Who?
Chargers. Sorry, I probably should have said the team
I think the
first.
Chargers are too. I'm like, the Chiefs? I don't think so. Yeah, Chargers. I agree.
One of my losers, kickers.
Yes.
Entering Sunday Night Football, there was 12 missed field goals, 12 missed extra points yesterday. Since the extra point was moved back in 2015, week 5 of this season is the first week in that span to have double-digit missed field goals and double-digit missed
extra points. Is Mason Crosby still employed by the Packers, or is he?
He is. He is.
That kind of surprises me.
Yeah. Kickers were one of mine. Who's another one of yours?
The Las Vegas Raiders. Sure, I'm really enjoying this list. Bad loss for them over a Bear team. I thought they were a lot better then. All of a sudden they're 3-2. Broncos 3-2. Battle for that third place in the division. Second place. It's got to be interesting this week.
Seattle Seahawks losing a home game.
They're my other one.
To a team that it's a really good team with the Rams, but you lose their quarterback for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to be out of it.
Finger injury. Carolina Panthers are another one of my losers, losing at home to Philadelphia like that.
That was one I wasn't watching, and I thought they had won, and then I saw the score. I'm like, they lost?
Yeah. J-Man won the belt again.
He did.
For the 3rd out of the 5th week.
Man.
If the Chiefs would have won last night and the Ravens won tonight, you would have still lost by 1.
No,
it would have been a lot closer.
That's all right.
Starting with Thursday night, we have Tampa Bay traveling to Philadelphia. Tampa Bay 7-point favorite.
I'm not believers in this Philadelphia team. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that great of a starting quarterback.
I think he's terrible.
Tom Brady's so good. Tampa Bay's good. Give me Tampa Bay for 12.
I have Tampa Bay for 12 as well.
Reading my mind.
We have 4 byes this week. The Falcons, Saints, Jets, and Niners.
Yep.
In London, the Dolphins travel across the pond to face the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What an exciting matchup this is.
Tua's back, though. That'll make it a little more exciting.
Give me the Dolphins for 13.
I have the Dolphins for 1.
Of course you do.
I don't believe in them.
I don't. Urban Meyer and his team are so disconnected.
I think the Dolphins season is on the brink of collapsing. They have to win this one to win the locker room.
Yeah, it could be bad if they lose this one.
Yes. Green Bay Packers at Chicago Bears.
Green Bay at Chicago. I got the Packers for 9.
I have the Packers for 13. I don't think the Bears will be able to score enough points.
Green Bay's woke up since their Week 1 loss against the Saints.
The Cincinnati Bengals traveled to Detroit to face the heart-wrenching Detroit Lions.
There's nothing worse than being a Lions fan in
their
sports.
losses are driving their head coach, Dan Campbell, to tears.
He drinks 2 big coffees in the morning. He might need about 10. Give me the Bengals for 11.
Give me the Lions for 2.
Ooh, that could decide it right there.
I think they get it done for some reason. The terrible Houston Texans, who should have beat the New England Patriots yesterday, travel to Indianapolis. Indianapolis 10-point favorite.
I think Indianapolis gets smacked tonight, but I don't think it matters come next week. I think Indianapolis beats the Texans. Give me 7.
I have the Colts for 9. I think they get it done pretty handily. There's a couple other games that could be easy blowouts. It's the only reason why the Colts were at 9. Speaking of blowouts, the Los Angeles Rams travel to East Rutherford, New Jersey to face the Giants.
That's my biggest pointer. That's 14.
Same.
Rams. Saquon Barkley is to running backs as Carson Wentz is to quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Both could be really good, just can't stay healthy.
The Kansas City Chiefs travel to Washington.
Give me the Chiefs for 6.
I have the Chiefs for 11.
Okay.
I think Chiefs bounce back.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings found a way to win yesterday. They're 2-3. Traveled to the Carolina Panthers.
I would say Detroit found a way to lose.
Yeah, it's good.
Carolina for 5. Tough one to pick, though.
I have Carolina for 4. I think coin flip, though, and it's proven by the spread, which is 1.5 Carolina. The LA Chargers travel to Baltimore. Chargers struggle at those 1 o'clock Eastern time games.
Really good matchup. Give me Baltimore for 1.
I have Baltimore for 7. I think their ball control offense really hinders the Chargers. This is an interesting one here. The 5-0 Arizona Cardinals travel to Cleveland.
I think both teams are really good football teams.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's undefeated.
You look at the 2 losses the Browns have on the road in pretty photo finish fashion.
Right. I think the Browns get it done, but only good for 2 confidence points.
I have Cleveland for 5. I think this is the week Arizona loses, and the 1972 Dolphins can already pop that champagne. Vegas Raiders travel to Denver.
Yeah, both teams 3-2. Both teams had losses yesterday. I mean, Denver just got out coached so bad. They're at home. I think their back's up against corner with their upcoming schedule. I think they come out fighting against their rivals and get it done. Give me the Broncos for 4.
I can't believe I did this, but I took the Raiders for 6.
That's okay. It's a toss-up, man.
Denver's 3-point favorites. I completely forgot that I took Vegas. I did this on – I did it right after their games on Sunday. I don't know what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. Dallas Cowboys travel to New England.
Cowboys are playing really good ball. Give me the Cowboys for 10.
I have Cowboys for 8. Seattle Seahawks with Geno Smith traveling to Pittsburgh. That's a terrible Sunday night game.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's banged up. Seattle's banged up. But give me the Steelers for 8.
Give me Pittsburgh for 10. Bills travel to Tennessee.
Should be a fun one. I know the Titans were my Super Bowl pick, but they've kind of been down for me lately. I think the Bills are the best team in football. I'm agreeing with you there. Give me the Bills for 3.
I think the Bills are the best team in football as well. However, I'm picking the Tennessee Titans for 3.
I like it. Makes this week interesting.
It does. We had a
lot of differences.
I took some upsets this week, which I don't usually do. But the J-Man won last week, and you know what? That's all that matters.
I can't make it 3 in a row. Got to get it back.
Oh, you think you actually have a shot to get it back? I'm gonna put
I think the Lions are going to lose it for you. That's an 11-pointer if I get that right with the Bengals.
Yeah, but I feel pretty good. But for some reason, I just feel like the Lions are going to get her done. Well, and I just feel like the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow having the throat issue. I think he had a contused throat, a throat contusion.
Yeah, he was having trouble talking. Scary.
I think he'll be fine, but Lions. You ready to hear the Birdie Bogey one more time? I think you have a pretty good shot.
I don't know. There's so many guys going through my mind. It scares me. Since 2016.
Since 2016, yards. What player has the most 40-yard touchdowns?
This is receiving or rushing?
Yep.
Gosh, dang it. I'm not going to get this, Josh. Tyreek Hill.
Nailed it. Tyreek Hill has 28 40-yard touchdowns since 2016. The next closest player has 12.
Who's that?
Derrick Henry and Tyler Lockett tied for 12.
Another one that came to my mind, I'm so glad I didn't say, was Stephon Diggs.
That would have been a good guess, though.
That would have been dumb.
Well, Tanner has crept back.
Still 3 strokes behind. But
Tanner's, we're going to be without Tanner next week.
Yes, I'm going to be gone, but my dad, Eric Lee's going to be filling in, so he'll that's Elway right there. So my dad, Eric Lee's going to be filling in, so he'll be doing Compton picks and everything. He'll be doing Birdie Bogey, all that good stuff. He'll be in studio here in the Tan and J-Man Show studio, but this is Josh the J-Man and myself's last studio show together. Why don't you tell the Tan and J-Man Show Nation what's going on in your life, J-Man?
J-Man is moving to Illinois. A girl is forcing me to move to Illinois. She's holding me at gunpoint right now.
She will be after the show now.
She definitely will be after the show. I'm scared. I think I'm going to block her number tonight, tomorrow, just so she doesn't yell at me. But I'm moving to Illinois. We're still going to do the show. We're going to do it remotely, and we'll be able to do it pretty easily remotely.
Yeah, we're still going to do it. Show's not going anywhere, but in 2 weeks on the 25th, it's got to have a different look to it, maybe a little different sound. The setup's got to look different, but we're not going anywhere. We've cranked out 256 of these. We've done over 240 together in studio, but we've done the StreamYard before, so it's going to work fine. IC Sports Network's backing us up, which we appreciate that. We've got a good partner there, so still looking forward to bringing you great live programming every week and talking sports with you all.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, J-Man, for almost 5 years.
It's been fun.
Of fun in studio together every single Monday.
Tune in to Query and Schultz next.
Yes. Have a great week, everybody.